going to a pro boxing fan. Come on in, family, press that like button, subscribe, share the video. I will not be stopping this live again. We started talking numbers, and my live started acting up. So come on in, press that like button. We are back live. So, are we or are we not our ancestors? My brother Felix Nunez, he asked the question. He said, are those the numbers from 2015? 5,000 reported hate crimes in the federal database. Most recent record, 11,000 reported. Since 2024, 13,000 sisters who have disappeared without a trace. 13,000 who have disappeared without a trace. Salute my good brother Hindal. Now, I know that there are people who are going to try to make it seem like it's just in Mississippi. That's a damn lie. This is going on all over the country right now. But they're using Mississippi as this isolated, hateful place where it's only happening. We are having an we are having an uprising and unalivings here in Georgia. And they're calling all of them, many of them, self-inflicted. Now I'm going to tell y'all something, and this isn't to put fear in you all, but I need you all to understand something. These tokens that we have amongst us, they are an enemy. They are a threat to our safety, to our respect, to our liberation. Now there's this guy named Officer T, and you all know who I'm talking about. And he's going around with no consequence saying, yeah, we were better off when we were slaves, and going down there talking to the YT friends of Nolan Wells. And he really is becoming a thorn in the side of the black community. Now, what I want to know is, if you are such a upstanding man of moral character, did you all hear the report of all the police officers being fired for misusing the flock cameras? Do you all know what that means when they say they were misusing the flock cameras and misusing the flock camera database? Do you all understand what that means? See, this should be national news right now, but it isn't. Now, I remember a long time ago, an old head told me this. He said, no matter what they tell you, when these numbers get into the thousands of events happening, you have to know that people in the government are complicit. Not just complicit, some of them are the main antagonists of this story. Remember, we gotta be careful what we say and how we say it. Now let me explain to you what you can do with a flock camera as an enforcement officer that abuses it. I can take your license and get your information or read your tag, get your information, and if it comes up that you've been looking up people's information with these flock cameras without probable cause, you can be fired. Now, most of you would say, well, that sounds about right, coach. That sounds about right. What we should be asking ourselves is, what are they doing with that information? So some of you brothers, you might have a white wife, you might have a white T wife, you might have a non-black wife, and you might have an officer sitting over there. He, you know, he don't like that. So he gets behind you, and you're thinking that he's just about to pull you over and harass you. Nope. He's not gonna pull you over and harass you. This particular gentleman gets your address, and he takes your address and he gives it to a white T supremacist, and they start tracking you, and then you come up unalived from a tree, and your whole family is like, well, we ain't never seen him with this kind of rope. We didn't even know he knew how to tie a noose's knot. We war not against flesh and blood, but against what? Salute growing with soul. So some of you might say, oh, coach, you just a conspiracy theorist. Remember when I told you all, and I got to make it plain today for everybody. Remember when I told you all that these COINTELPRO boxing fans are a direct resemblance of the black undercover agents and the black traitors who have taken down every single one of our organizations. Do you all remember that? And what do people say? Coach, you are, it sounds good, but see, you like what I'm saying. But when it starts coming to pass, now it's like, oh shit, this is happening. Anthony Latham says, it was said most of them were stalking their partners and exes. And that's probably true as well, because a lot of them are mentally messed up here. But let me tell you this. I want y'all to think about something for a second. Just think about these numbers. If 13,000 black women have come up missing without a trace, we're not talking about missing and then found unalive later. We're talking about missing without a trace. 13,000. That's 13 middle-sized high schools. Think about that. Think about the high school you went to, and imagine it full with nothing but black women. Now imagine 13 of those in 2 years disappearing off the face of the planet. Now watch this, what I'm about to say to you. You mean to tell me, with all the surveillance that we have in our neighborhoods, because y'all know the black community is surveillance, you mean to tell me with all these cameras, all of this surveillance, don't nobody know nothing? Ain't nobody seen shit? Black people, y'all better wake up. Y'all better wake up. See, some people gonna listen, some people not. But I remember going to the MLK Center when I was a kid with my grandfather. Let me tell y'all something about my grandfather. See, my grandfather is from Greenwood, Mississippi. Grandmother from Greenwood, Mississippi. And all of them moved to Chicago in the 50s. And I remember when we visited the center, and my grandfather saw the Klan on this big screen. The look on his face and the look in his eyes, I knew those people were my enemy. After that, couldn't no teacher tell me nothing. Couldn't no a liberal, slick talking, Max Kellerman type of dude tell me nothing about what I know, about what our ancestors went through. And after our ancestors and our grandparents, some of them, some of our parents even, some of you still go out of your way to be an apologist and a pacifier for these people. Think about this, family. All of these cameras that capture everything, they can see a germ's ass crack on Pluto, but we can't figure out where all these people disappearing to. We can see something a million miles away, but all this surveillance we have around us, we don't know who's doing all of these. These people must be unaliving themselves. Now let me tell y'all something about a noose's rope and being hung high. Even if a black person is going to unalive themselves, you know what they don't want to feel? They don't want to feel their neck break. See, when I worked in the prison, when someone tried to unalive themselves, they rarely, unless they had a psychotic break, jumped off the top tier. They would try to do it in the comfort of their cell or somewhere where they know somebody will find them, but they weren't trying to snap their neck. You all understand what I'm saying to you? You mean to tell me there's hundreds at this point now, hundreds of our own people unaliving themselves? Children? Children. Family. I guarantee you all, if at your next family reunion, nobody 18 and under knows how to tie a noose's rope. Let me say it again. I guarantee you at your next family reunion, nobody 18 and under knows how to tie a noose's rope. That's a certain type of knot. You understand what I'm saying to you? Brothers and sisters, deep down south, listen to what I'm about to tell you. If you are still sending your children and putting them in compromising positions, you need your we're gonna do our best to not get this video flagged. You need what we call wall-to-wall counseling. Yeah, you need wall-to-wall counseling. Brothers and sisters, stop traveling alone. Brothers and sisters, put your location on with somebody in your family. Brothers and sisters, especially the sisters, let me talk to you sisters for a second. Some of you sisters think that this is a game. Some of you sisters have fallen into this social media psyop that there's real beef between you and I, and you don't want to listen to nothing we got to say. And these sisters know who they are. Can't nobody tell you nothing. There was a Sister went on a date and they went running. It was this sister and the white T man. The white T man joked with her, stopped and turned to her and said, well, this here is where this is where I was gonna unalive you at. Uh, 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 uh. Let me tell you something. When we try to tell this sister that she needs to be careful, the sister made another video defending him and said she's going to keep dating him. Do you all remember the man that had the model and the model came up unalived and there was no investigation done overseas? Overseas, she must have unalived herself, even though there's footage of him chasing her around the resort. Do you all think that man did any time? Do you all think that man was bought? Now, let me disabuse some of you token handkerchief head Negroes that like to be Fox News puppets. When we start having real conversations about how to keep each other safe, you talk about, well, what about Ray Ray and Junebug? You know, what y'all doing about that? First of all, you talking to the wrong person. Monday through Friday, I'm working with our youth, shaping their minds to not hate each other, to not have self-hate, to not unalive each other, teaching them conflict resolution. I'm doing that work. But you know what I realized, what dawned on me, is when Ray Ray unalives Junebug, Junebug is gone, and Ray Ray goes to jail. That's how that goes. There's no system trying to protect Ray Ray for unaliving Junebug. See, some of you sorry ass Negroes, excuse me, YouTube, please don't flag me. Please don't flag me. You all will make excuses and say there is no systemic racism. Let me show you what a systemic action looks like. Imagine your black child goes on a trip with their friends. You get the call from your friends and from your child's friends, and your child friend says, we can't find your child. Okay. This group of YT friends, they know that you're looking for your child, but they have his phone and his keys. So you go to the house, you use the Find Me app, the Life 360 app, and you see that the phone is here with the YT friends. And you tell the sheriff this, you tell the detectives this, and nobody is arrested. Nobody's taken to jail. That is a systemic issue. Furthermore, to try to get some more answers together, and we send your child's body, once it's found, to another city. But the organization who did the autopsy on your child's body, they keep the body organs that would have given you the answers. That is a systemic issue. Some of you tokens will say, well, it's common for them to take the lungs and throw it out during a drowning. It's not common if there's a second autopsy done and you don't send all the organs with the body. That's not common. Because once the first autopsy is done, unless you suspect foul play, there's no reason for you to hold it. That's a systemic issue. The same thing that they're doing is the same thing that was done to Kendrick Johnson in Valdosta, Georgia. Yeah. See, that's the difference from Ray Ray unaliving Junebug. And all of you compromising brothers amongst us who always want to defend these Sean Tails and these Max Kellermans, you ever notice how they don't defend you when you look bad? Something happens to you. Look at Keyshawn Davis. He went on all of those streams, and ain't nobody trying to help Keyshawn. Salute Accurate 11. Craig L in the building. Let's talk about it. All of these so-called good people that's in your corner. Now, let me show you something. See, any YT person that's a true ally, they never have to tell you they're an ally. They just show you. They just show you. And let me show you the cowardness of all of those young people on that island with Nolan Wells. It took a girl. It took a young YT girl to stand up and say, hold up. That didn't happen like that. Out of all of Nolan's so-called friends, this YT girl stood up and said, no, I spoke to Nolan around this time, and Nolan said he was going back on the boat leaving. That lie that he was with me is a lie. That's a goddamn lie. And now we're finding out there were 3 boats and about 30 kids. You mean to tell me wasn't no adult with them? This is systemic, because if this was a group of black kids and a rich YT kid was done like this, all of their young black asses would be locked up until we got to an answer. So you say we are not our ancestors. And those of you who say we're not our ancestors in a derogatory way, I have news for you. You are about to have a chance to prove what you say. See, I don't say we're not our ancestors. I say I'm just like my ancestors who fought. I don't disrespect my ancestors. But all of you who say that in a derogatory way, you say you're not going, you saying it couldn't be you. Let's see. I just seen a video on Facebook. It was a brother outside fighting about 4. They might have been Mexican. They might have been Argentinian, from Argentina. They might have been El Salvadorian. But they sicked a pit bull on this black man and was whooping his ass in the street. And the 2 black people who were inside recording it didn't go outside and help. I'm not making this up, family. They didn't go outside and help. You damn right. Many of you are not our ancestors. You're weak. You won't fight. You won't boycott. You won't do the things that cost you nothing. People tell you we not shopping at Target no more. You can't tell me I can't shop at Target no more. People try to tell us to unify. You say, well, black people are not a monolith. Well, let me tell you what is a monolith. Let me tell you what they are, quote unquote, about. Y'all ever notice that all of these unalivings is happening this way? Ain't nobody coming forward. So where are all these good? These I remember I was talking to Trill one day. I was talking to my brother Trill Will one day, and another brother called in while we're talking about unity. Another brother called in on some. Well, we just need to partner with them more and to get along. So I, so I said to this brother, I said, "Hey man, what you got going on? How come every time we're talking about unity, you feel the need to put your 2 cents in about why we need to align ourselves with people who have no respect for us and who have turned on us every single time? You love what hates you, and you hate on what shows you love. Y'all love these bigots in the sport of boxing, and you hate the brothers that actually spend some of their quality time. Think about this. Name one rich black man that gets on YouTube as much as Bill Haney and talks to dudes that can't do a damn thing for him. Name one. All coach, all coach, but that's his promoter. See, now let me show you how you're double-minded and double-tongued. You'll say that's the promoter, but then in another side, you'll say, Bill need to stop talking. Let me tell you what we got and why this is tied in together. There are a group of men amongst black men who are bitch made, grandma titty sucking, handkerchief head, COINTELPRO boxing fan Negroes. They don't have the testicular fortitude to stand up. They just ain't got it. It ain't in them. And the only reason why they try to spaz out on y'all is because that's how they used to see their mom talk to their dad. That's how they used to see the women in their family talk to the men in their family. They not used to seeing a man stand up and speak and the women in the house be quiet. Because some real stuff is about to go down. It ain't about controlling you or muzzling your mouth. If it's a group of men outside with weapons and my grandfathers and uncles are speaking, the women ain't got nothing to say. Let me calm down. I'm about to get going. So this punk assness in these men, in our communities and in the sport of boxing, they're hand in hand. They're hand in hand. See, this gonna keep on happening. Because they see y'all ain't doing nothing. Now it's Sunday, so I got to say this. If you call yourself a preacher or a bishop, and you are in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Florida, South Carolina, Kentucky, Virginia, if you in any of them states, and there's some more, but if you in any of these southern states, Texas, and you are not using your teaching on this Sunday to wake up the minds of the black men and women in your church and tie into what's going on right now, that they need to protect themselves and that there is a time for peace and there is a time for war. If you are not preaching that this Sunday, you are a waste of space. And your congregation should set you down. if the youth pastors, if the leaders of the churches, the leaders of the mosques, the leaders in the bars, in the clubs, the leaders of the gangs, if you are a man in your community right now and you all are not having these conversations with the young people around you, now if the young folk won't listen to you, I ain't talking to you. You ain't got that power. But if you ain't even tried, you guilty too. The easiest thing to do is to start in the household. Some of you sisters, you all take your athletic young sons around these coaches, and these coaches screw on you. They know you lonely. They play on you. Y'all open your legs for them. But they're not teaching your sons how to move around. They're not teaching your sons, look now, I know these your teammates, but look, I know y'all gonna be going over to these islands and going over to these trips. You leave they women alone. You leave they women alone. So let me tell you what I really believe happened with our young brother Nolan. It's clear as day. Them YT girls was feeling Nolan. And somebody got mad about it. I heard a sister say to me, now this is a sister trying to defend him. Sister says, but they grew up together. They went to middle school together. See, I had some partners, some brothers, some homeboys. And man, me and my homeboys, some of us fought together. You know, got drunk together. We done been through it all, right? But when the women start coming around, I started realizing that some of these dudes, they trying to tongue kiss the holes in the mouth. They don't know the difference between the hoe and the lady. So then they make a low vibrational woman their main chick. They make a low vibrational woman their wife. They make a low vibrational woman their baby mama. And they bring them around the crew. And I have witnessed, not once, not twice, but 3 times, I've witnessed men be destroyed because they chose a low vibrational woman over their brothers who wanted the best for them. I've seen brothers ruin their lives because nobody ever taught them, hey man, when you a guest in them people's house, you don't go over there and mess with their women. You don't go over there messing with their women, man. I don't care how good you can dance. I don't care how much you make them laugh, especially if alcohol is involved. These are things you should be teaching your children. But at this point and at this time, your children should not be the only one in the room. We're talking a certain way so we don't get flagged. I hope you all understand what I'm saying. Now, things don't always go my way. But let me tell you the difference sometimes between us as men and the woman. No matter what me and a woman disagrees on, I'm not going to try to ruin her reputation. Some women will go out their way to ruin your reputation, sometimes backdoor you, sometimes, set you up. But as men, we got to take those hits on the chin. Because no matter what happens, other men are going to look at you and say, well, you were the leader. You were the leader. That didn't work out. She was doing all of that. Well, she was doing that under your command. She was doing that under your post. You guard your post properly until relieved. Do you all understand that general order? So it don't matter what my child's mother got going on. I'm responsible. I'm responsible for my child and the way they should go. And I'm going to fight like hell if somebody tried to take my child away from me. Because regardless of what the women might say, regardless of what the women might tell you, those who are bitter and vindictive women, a child needs their father. Now I know the brother that's with Nolan Wells' mother is the stepfather. But somebody should have had a discussion with Nolan and said, brother, you don't need to be out there on that boat, on that island, by yourself with them folks. Got your ass. Salute Delano in the building. Money, drugs, jealousy, the kryptonite of black men. See, we are our own kryptonite. Let me show you. Delano's right in what he's saying, but let me show you what I mean by we are the kryptonite. These women today, this money today, these drugs today are no different from the money, the drugs, and the money 70 years ago. I want to disabuse us of some of the excuses that we use. After slavery, 7 years after slavery, black people own more land than they own now. Black people had more political leaders than we have now. The only thing that was the issue was when the federal government removed the troops from the South and it was open season on unarmed brothers and sisters. Now, this ain't my goddamn opinion. This is a fact. How many of us need to be unalive before you all understand that you cannot talk peace with a violent language? That's like you all inside of a room with a rabid pit bull, and you're saying to the rabid pit bull, but I love you, but I love you, but I love you, don't bite me. The pit bull bites a chunk out your black ass, and you still say, but I love you. But I love you, pit bull. I love you so much. No. You bring your arms in tight. And whether you got a shirt on, whether you need to rip it, whether that pit bull has a collar on it, but somehow, some way, you need to choke that pit bull. Hit it dead in his nose. Kick it in his nuts. There was a brother I seen getting arrested. I seen it on Facebook. It was a clip of this brother being arrested, and the officer kept letting the dog bite him on a leg. That brother turned around and said, "Ah!" and bit the dog. Dog. But you know what that dog learned that day? Motherfucker, stop biting me. So some of you get this money. Do you all not understand what's going on? What does Carmelo Anthony and Nolan Wells and many of these other brothers have in common? And I'm sorry I got to say this. This is no disrespect to their parents, but I got to say this. I gotta say it, I'm sorry. Nolan Wells' stepfather, who is he loves football, like salute Isaiah W. in the building. He loves football, like many of these brothers in the boxing community. He sees nothing wrong with his son going over there with them, like many of the brothers in these boxing spaces. He sees no problem. Still, even now think about this. In the midst of everything that's happening, he still has enough strength in him to be an apologist and worry about the feelings of racist bigots by saying, we know this isn't about race, we just want answers. How you know? How you know? Now, sisters, let me talk to these sisters for a second. Sisters, you all keep talking about you want a dark-skinned 6'5" man that makes six figures. Man, you better understand, you better hope that you're with a man that knows how to teach your children how to move properly as a young black man and young black woman, because that's what they're going to be. Yes, he needs to be a provider. But some of you all are getting with weak men. You think because he bench 400 pounds, he won't be weak in the knees and start shucking and jiving in front of a 160-pound frail Max Kellerman. And let somebody like that talk to him crazy. You think he won't get in front of a Skip Bayless and let a Skip Bayless tell him, put your damn glasses back on. I gotta be honest. Biggest don't feel that comfortable with me. They don't feel that. See, when I was a young man, I remember I was stopping through Conyers, Georgia. And this particular weekend, the Klan was having a rally. And I'm talking about, boy, they tough when they together. But I guess some hours later, this one Klan member needed to get something from the grocery store. I looked him dead in his eye. He looked me in my eye. And all that whooping and hollering they was doing when he was with him, he ain't say nothing to me. I'm by myself, you by yourself. He ain't feel comfortable enough. But you need to ask yourself, what is it about our athletes right now? People like Skip Bayless, Hansa Tail, feel comfortable to talking crazy to somebody that could literally beat them to unalive them, break their jaw right there. Salute Andrew 100. People like Officer T, people like Jason Fatlock. Y'all day is running real slim. There was a YT supremacist got on YouTube. He said, man, we don't need them tokens speaking for us. And y'all ain't got no smoke for them. Officer T, why don't you do a investigative report on all of these officers being fired for abusing the flock cameras? There was a young brother came up unalive from a rope a few months ago in Cobb County, Georgia. Come to find out, that same day earlier, he got into it with an officer in Atlanta. So we got officers being fired for abusing the flock cameras. And we got a whole bunch of, I'm talking about, we got thousands of incidents now where ain't nobody seen nothing. So you say you're not your ancestors. I want to see it. All of you spineless rappers. You got brothers on here, man. Y'all heard Pooh Shiesty said to Gucci? Man, I don't give a damn about Gucci or Pooh Shiesty. Because what it's looking like is y'all are only tough with each other. You're only tough with black folk. Y'all ain't made one song yet about fighting the powers that be, about saying it loud, about self-destruction. We headed for self-destruction. Nigga got it bad because I'm brown. That's right, Accurate 11. They ain't crashed out on nobody. They ain't crashed out on nobody. But you say we are not our ancestors. Sisters, I'm going to say this again to you. Stop running alone. Stop running with your headphones in your ears. Stop meeting random men offline. Be safe. Stop bringing every dude you talk to your house. Listen to the men in your family when they're telling you something right, and don't take it as a personal attack. Y'all are coming up unalive faster than anybody. It's black women and young black men. Sisters, one of the greatest disservices you all are doing to your sons is making them think that their YT football coach is a representation of his whole community. Let me say that again. You sisters who are sending your, which I don't understand what else. What else needs to happen for us to say, hold on, fam. Bugs out here trying to get all this sun. What needs to happen in the National Football League for us to say, you know what? We know you brothers got contracts, and we don't expect you all to stand up on business. We know you all are comfortable next to the boule. But this next generation of Pee-wee football players, we're preparing them for the HBCUs. And by the time they graduate the HBCUs, we're bringing back the Negro Football League. Why not? You all see how they did Deion Sanders. This is a man that brought billions to the NFL, and look how they did his son. Look how they did his son. These are people that saw Deion walking around with his boys when they were babies. And look how they colluded together to teach that nigga a lesson. But if somebody start talking about taking your football away, now you ain't such a liberator anymore, are you? You ain't, boy, y'all lucky. So y'all don't know it. Y'all don't know it. You know, when Denzel in Equalizer 2, was it 2 or 3? 2. When Equalizer 2, when he had that brother, and he put that thing to him, and he said, "You don't know what death is." I felt that. I felt that. Hell, it's dudes complaining right now about the work Ice Cube has done with the Big Three. when we should be helping him. Man, his first Big Three game in Chicago, he had the minister sitting front row. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. And I'm gonna tell some of you brothers, man. Some of you brothers, I gotta say something to y'all, man. See, some of y'all don't know this devil like I know him. I was in the military with him. I know about them unaliving and raping our women and removing their body parts to get rid of the evidence and setting them on fucking fire. And you all want to talk to me about, well, coach, I just don't understand why we just all can't get along. Let me go inside, fam. These flies tearing me up. I just don't understand why we all can't get along. Some of you don't want liberation. You don't want liberation. You want to be comfortable while you're being oppressed. That's what you want. You want a comfortable oppression. That's what you want. You want a comfortable oppression. With all that's going on right now. And see, sometimes the NFL also represents that microcosm of life. Deion Sanders he represents us. Deion Sanders represents us and our contributions to America. And what they did to his son represents how they do us after we bring life to this country, bring seasoning to this country. And look how they do us. A few Asian folk got beat up and they got a provision. Some of you call it the Asian hate crime bill, but that's not the name of the actual bill, but they got a provision in it. I wish my brother True Will or Freedom's Marshall's in here. Somebody in the chat maybe could tell me the name of the actual bill. But the Asians got a provision in there. It is a federal crime to do anything to them. See, the few crime bills that we have, you have to prove that it was a couple of people to prove that it was a lynching. You see these loopholes, but see, they got, a few months went by, boom. They felt like they were being discriminated through DEI, boom, ain't no more DEI. It didn't work out in their favor. And that's why I don't mean to be rude when y'all ask me questions about football and basketball and all of that. I don't mean to be rude when I say, man, I don't really watch that shit. And I can't make you have the faith that I have. I can't make you believe what I believe. But let me tell you this. Whether y'all like it or not, what I'm about to say, this is some real talk. If our ancestors, I did a whole live on all of our sports that were integrated within a 5-year time frame. If our ancestors would have known that this is how it was going to be, they never would have integrated the sports. Because when it comes to everybody else's culture, black boy, you better watch your mouth. But they can call you all types of names. Look at it. Angel Reese, the hate. Y'all know what that's about. Salute my good brother Patrice X. Y'all know what that's about. So right now, we are operating in a loop of insanity. Let me show you what I mean. This demonic contract that black people have with rich, wealthy, white people and their organizations has been going on for a long time. But when it comes to sports, since we integrated the sports, Jim Brown was a great football player. But if y'all know the stories of Jim Brown and what he had to put up with, man, listen. That man started acting. He said, man, hey, man, F this. So are we going to wait another 50 years? We saw how they did Shador, how they did his brother, how they did Dion, how they did Colin. The list goes on and on. And you brothers, this is what I talk about. You brothers that, you maybe can bitch 400 pounds, but you get weak in front of them folks. When I seen, this will hurt my heart. This is why I don't really watch it. I think I watch maybe the Super Bowl and that's it. I watch the Super Bowl, and then when I go to my mom's crib, my pops has probably every football channel there is, and we watching that every day. You understand? But other than that, I don't watch it because listen, when I saw Ray Lewis get on there, big, strong ass Ray Lewis get on there. That's why when Marshawn Lynch go on there and he give him hell, I be like, yep, that's what I'm talking about. And they say, oh, well, Marshawn need to be more professional. Professional for who? You ain't got to be professional for these damn devils. Salute Queen Tay-Tay. Ray Lewis got on there crying. Oh, well, I just seen the babies. I didn't know what to do, so that's why I had kneeled with him, because, I just want these babies to be able to talking about some grown ass, big ass, strong NFL players. Grown men. Let me talk to you about this loop of insanity. Let me go over it real quick, and then I'm gonna land this plane. When you all say we are not our ancestors, you damn right you're not your ancestors. Because our ancestors knew that they had to have their own, to have respect. You see the way these commentators talk to us now and talk to our athletes, when we had the Negro Football League and they maybe came to be a guest or whatever, to see what was going on or try to scout and recruit, they didn't come in there popping their collar like that. They came respectful. Because we had ownership. So you damn right you're not your ancestors. All y'all in boxing, making excuses for the likes of Keyshawn and Shakur. You know what they did to Jack Johnson when he went over there to help Max Schmeling's team? In Black Harlem, they beat Jack Johnson's ass. You damn right you're not your ancestors. When they removed the troops from the South and they was knocking us over the head of unarmed brothers and sisters, you had the deacons of defense step up to the plate and was laying the Klan down to the point they had to be federal intervention, so the troops had to come back. You goddamn right you're not your ancestors. So right now we got our sisters. We got sisters right now. You're getting your sons ready for Pee-wee football. Some of you sisters right now are getting ready for PWI recruiters to come into your home and sit down and talk about what they can do for your son. And in your mind, all of y'all are thinking is, we got to get you there so you can help the family. As a whole, have we benefited? Let's talk about it. As a whole, the black community as a whole, have our communities better from us having good football players, good basketball players, good baseball players? Has it brought us more justice? Has it brought us more jobs? Has it stopped the bigotry? Has it stopped the disrespect on all platforms and levels? Has it stopped the workplace harassment of our men and women? No, it has not. But the loop of insanity is still going. I seen a video of a brother Pat. He was throwing the football to his baby, and you gonna go to the Patriots. Black man with his father, yeah, you gonna play on the Bulls. I know that's tough talk. I know that's tough talk because at the end of the day, some of us love these sports more than the liberation and future of our. And listen, some of us love these sports more than the liberation of our own people and the future of our own people. But there's going to come a day, because this thing is going down. There's going to come a day, ain't none of that shit going to be left. Hendall said, no, but we have to put our passion somewhere or it will disappear. There's nothing wrong with us putting our passion somewhere. If Ice Cube can start the Big Three by himself and get it to where it is now in less than 10 years, we have no excuse. It's laziness. That's all it is. It's laziness. Right now. Hold on, y'all. Let me calm down. Right now, we have brothers. Example, my brother Wade opened up our gym, and two of our fighters was training with Brian Norman Jr. on Saturday. Excuse me. Two of our coaches was training with Brian Norman Jr. on Saturday. Wade didn't go beg or try to get help the easy way, which he could have done. We all put our minds together and we made a place for ourselves. We made a place for ourselves, like Ice Cube did with the Big Three. Now, do you all remember when The Rock was trying to buy arena football? And it was Negroes. It was niggas rooting against it. Man, that nigga gonna fail. Man, The Rock gonna fail. Instead of saying he gonna fail, why didn't y'all get in there and help the brother? Because if a black man would have owned arena football, prove to me you're not your ancestor. Ain't none of y'all going to convince me. Ain't nobody on earth going to convince me that we got it harder now than our brothers and sisters that were making it happen in the 1930s and 1940s with the Black Baseball League, the Negro Leagues, the Football League, our Black Boxing League. You're not going to tell me that we got it harder now than they had it then. That's a goddamn lie. Y'all don't want to do it because it's uncomfortable. Y'all don't want to do it because some of you who are in a position to do it, you don't want to upset the YT men at the colleges, at the PWIs. You all don't want to upset Nick Saban. Now watch this loop of insanity. As soon as it looked like Deion Sanders had a recruiting edge because of who he is, the YT recruits of the PWIs got upset for doing what they've been doing for decades. Coming into our communities, ripping the best and sending them to their schools with more resources, more money. And when we get good people, we got to treat them right. Jackson State, y'all dropped that ball with Deion. That brother shouldn't have won it for nothing. And y'all should have did everything in your power to make his time there a pleasant one. Now, would that mean if he would have stayed? Maybe not. But when he left, that would have been a space for another top black football coach that could have still did the same thing. Wouldn't have been Deion, but it could have been somebody else. But the way y'all did things down there, the powers that be, the boule that be, you know who you are. Y'all had other people saying, man, I ain't going down there. Y'all see how they did Deion? Even though he had that damn football arena filled to the T. Them tickets ain't been that much in the history of their school. So when people watch this, listen, don't get in my comment section crying about no damn football. It's Sunday, I'm gonna try not to curse. Don't come in my comment section talk about no football. Just talking about why we couldn't do it. No damn sports at all. Don't come in my comment section talking about well, but we can't because of this. No. You are lazy. You all don't want to come together because you love what hates you and you hate what loves you. I don't want to hear nothing about why we can't do it. It only take one generation to do it. If we all said this senior class coming up this year is going to be the last one that we send to PWIs, it would change the game. But you don't want to do it. Because you say to yourself, hey, coach, man, I've been training my son since he was 6. If it look like he can get to the NFL through a PWI, we're going to do it. That's fine. So what happens if your son gets to the NFL and they put a YT woman on him to lie on him because they trying to break him because he don't want to do something that they say, then what you going to do? How you going to get him out of that trouble then? Huh? I said, how you going to get him out of that trouble then? I'm sick of the excuses. I'm sick of why we can't do. No. Y'all keep telling me we are not our ancestors, so show me a better example in this time. That's right, Patrice X. We the only tribe who trains our kids to lose ownership over our talents. Do you all not understand that if YT people were more athletic, and made up the majority share of these sports, they would never let some brothers have ownership of those leagues. Do you all not understand that? Do you all not get that? They would never let us have that. No, not let us. They would never put themselves in a position to have to answer to us as their owners. Never. So don't talk to me about what you can't do. You refuse to do it because you are a lazy group of Negroes now. There it is. I said it. Can't call me racist. I said it. We got a bunch of lazy Negroes, a bunch of lazy black folk, a bunch of self-hating black folk that don't want to come together and do nothing. We can't plan a family reunion without a fallout. But people who will come together and collude against your children, you'll still do business with them? You ain't your ancestors, prove it. You ain't your ancestors, prove it, I say. Thank you, Patrice X. And they never put black commentators in positions to speak about the white athletes like we allow right now. Can you all imagine if boxing was a majority YT sport? And them having somebody like, let's pick somebody that ain't got no boxing experience at all. Can you imagine them having Cameron in the position of Max Kellerman? I really need you all to fathom, because see, when we start switching it and put ourselves in somebody else's shoes, maybe we see the hypocrisy a little better. Maybe we understand how stupid we look a little better. We have somebody like Max Kellerman, who hasn't boxed a day in his life, constantly speak against Abdullah, Devin, Bud, constantly Floyd. Never boxed a day in his life. Can you all imagine if boxing was a predominantly YT sport and somebody like Cameron speaking like Max on the YT fighters? They would, what? But this is what we allow. So I got some good news and some bad news for you. Here's the good news. Nope, let me get the bad news first. The bad news is, if we don't change as a people and as a cohesive unit, man, it's about to get real. It's gonna get worse, and nobody's gonna have any fear of you. They gonna start just walking up to you, slapping you in front of your children. Because as long as they got something to do with football or basketball or get money or dealing with a rapper, you know, because right now that's the best you can be, right? That's how they paint us. That's the best you can be. Or in the street selling drugs. That's it, right? But here's the good news. If we change our ways and start looking out for each other and start taking our organizations back, listen, we tried what Dr. King wanted at first. Now, Dr. King said I might have integrated my people into a burning house before he was assassinated. But we tried. Salute 4-ounce sniper in the building. We tried integration. We did. We integrated the sports. We integrated the military. And we integrated society. Is it working? And if it's not working, isn't that more reason for us to be unified? But all we know, Bill Haney says something, he's a liar. Bob Arum says the same thing, it must be true. Champ Side says something, he must be a liar. Rick Glazer says something, it must be the truth. Dan Raphael says something, it must be the truth. Sean Zattel says something, it must be the truth. You don't even ask where the source is from. But we aren't our ancestors. That's what you say. So I really hope you all think about that. You know, I was going to do a live on Terrence Crawford today, but I can do that tomorrow. This is more important. Brothers and sisters, listen. Our people are coming up unalived all over. You all need to be smart. And all of you tokens, because some of you watch, you never say anything, but some of you watch, and you know who you are. There's going to come a time, and it's probably going to be in our lifetime, where there's going to be a penalty for the BS you do. I'm going to leave it at that. Peace to the family. I appreciate y'all coming through. Peace to my comrades. And it's always smoke to the COINTELPRO boxing fan. Peace.